What up, family? It's your favorite cousin, your favorite uncle, your favorite nephew, your favorite father, your favorite son, your best friend's best friend. It's me, Dr. Larry, and welcome to Living For You, the YouTube channel. This is a safe space, a positive place in which we come together and we gather and we grow. It's one of the best places you can be right now in these internet streets because you know it's so much going on out there. But this is a place where we come together with the sole intent of growing. So welcome to the channel. For those of you who have been loyal, faithful subscribers, hey family, I love you. Welcome back. I'm glad you're here today. To those of you who are new subscribers, because our subscriber number is going up, thank you. Welcome to the family. You are loved. You are family. And to those of you who've been watching and who haven't subscribed, why haven't you? Go ahead and subscribe. Hit that subscribe button. There's nothing much to it. Just do it. Okay? Just do it. I am Dr. Larry Smith. I'm a certified life and spiritual coach. I refer to myself as a spiritualist because I go beyond sometimes, depends on what the clients want, but I go beyond just the typical life coaching stuff. I even also include some of my spiritual practices and traditions that I've learned after studying religion. If you didn't know, my PhD is in comparative religion, and I studied mystic religion and other things and so forth. So I use all of that in helping my clients and myself heal, stay healed, stay in the best grounded place that we could possibly be. If you want to know more about that, you can go to www.liveforyoucoaching.com. That's www.liveforyoucoaching.com. Learn about me, learn about my business, Live For You Coaching, and whatever other ventures I have going on. And if you want to follow me on social media, you can actually go to Dr. Larry Smith on both Instagram and on Facebook if you want to know more about what's going on with me. So anyway, like last week, I started like a little series situation. Hold on, you guys. I'm dropping stuff. Last week, I started like a little series. It's not really a series. It's just my crystals. I told you guys that I do believe in crystals. I believe pretty much almost everything has a component to it that can be helpful to us, whether it's on the spiritual level, on the natural level, on the intuitive level, internal level. I mean, this stuff has been around for thousands of years. I'm not making it up. It's just I use it in my life and I help my clients with it and I educate people on different things. And so I really enjoy all of that. So I got my crystals again. Last week we had a crystal hermatite and we brought up and we talked about that and I gave kind of a little discussion around that. So I'm going to pull another one. Give me a moment. Pick it up a little bit. Randomly pull them. Talk about them. Oh, it's a good one. It's a good one. That's amethyst. Amethyst. And I know people who are not even into crystals or into that type of spiritual stuff or things like that, but they've heard of amethyst. It's a purple, pretty, beautiful, gorgeous purple. I've seen like big chunks of amethyst crystals because it is probably the most important, or one of the most important crystals that you can have due to its components of dealing with cleansing the air, but also dealing with intuition and internal. And I can go across religions with this. The Egyptians believed that this was to ward off negative spirits, and so they were buried sometimes with amethyst to ward off negative spirits in the afterlife. The Greeks, actually this word is actually a Greek word from that meant like to drunkenness, clear away drunkenness. So they used it for things like that to purify their bodies. The Catholic priests back in the day used to wear amulets made out of amethyst with the notion of if they had had a sinful night the night before or they had gotten drunk or had done something, this would clear that out or clear away any negative spirits. You see it in Hindu, Buddhism, you see it in Christianity. Actually, in Christianity, for my Christian viewers, you know that purple represents Jesus, and this amethyst stone is represented. Jesus represented by the amethyst stone, him being the Savior according to the Christian faith. And so you'll see during times of Easter and Lent, that time you'll see the purple purple like scarves and stuff. That's amethyst. That's that same energy. It's all connected to the same energy. This is a Pisces people. This is your thing. In fact, February, this is your birthstone, I think, amethyst, if I'm quite sure. It's also like if you've been married 6 years, the 6-year stone is amethyst. So it's a very interesting, powerful stone. And for me, I used it as a way of getting connected to my intuition and clearing negative energies, but definitely my intuition. So I wanted to get on here, obviously using my amethyst. Can you see it? I can see it. And talk about intuition, trusting one's intuition. We don't have conversations like that too often, all the time, because we're so prone to reacting, right? People just tend to react to whatever happens in life, you know, and we're really reactionary people. So if somebody says something negative to you, you respond negative to them. Some people respond negatively to them. If somebody says something positive to you, you respond to them in a positive way. If you're in a moment and something happens, like say if your life is in jeopardy, you respond in that moment to those things out of reactionary. So most people are reactionary, and I'm here to recommend and to offer a different approach. Try using intuition. Your intuition is never wrong. If you have trained it, if you have really honed in on that powerful energy, your intuition is never wrong. And it generally gives you a good indication as to what to expect in a certain situation, scenarios, and even people. Like say, for example, if you're getting into a relationship, right, with somebody, and all of a sudden your intuition starts to tell you that perhaps maybe this person has character flaws or things that, which we all do. We all have character flaws, we all have things, but your intuition is telling you this person might have something that might compromise you and put you in situations that you don't need to be in, that are unhealthy, unproductive, unloving for you. And your intuition is just telling you. You got one or two options. You can listen to your intuition and run for the hills and see those red flags. And it's so funny because I pulled this stone. I'm talking about intuition because on social media, there's this whole thing going on now with red flags. If someone does something in a relationship, those are red flags, and people are posting red flags all over Twitter and Instagram and Facebook and whatever. But the point is, you either catch those red flags in your first option and run to the hills and get on, or you're like me, you're a hopeless romantic, your heart is always on your sleeve, and you dive right into and ignore your intuition. So I'm telling you this from a place of perspective of knowing that sometimes ignoring your intuition might not be the good thing for you. I have bumped my head on that tree branch several times in my life, of falling in a relationship and bumping my head, or getting into a circumstance that my intuition at some point was telling me it ain't good for me, and I just went forward with it for whatever reason, not listening. I've since gotten better, I've matured and grown, but in my youth, I was ignoring intuition left and right, which I learned a lot of things I needed to learn about my intuition the hard way. Nevertheless, your intuition is your greatest ally. It is your greatest friend. Your intuition wants what's best for you. Your intuition knows what's best for you. And your intuition is the best source you can go to find what is best for you. But many of us aren't trained, aren't admonished, or encouraged to use our intuition. We're encouraged to use everything else but intuition when it comes to dealing with life circumstances. And I'm here to tell you, in the spirit of amethyst, the stone, use your intuition, because your intuition will never steer you wrong. It will never steer you wrong. Whether that's in relationships, whether that's taking a job, whether that is starting something new in life, whether it's moving, whatever, your intuition will be your guide. I'll use me as an example. When I first moved to California, to LA, everywhere I went, I seen purple. There's these trees in Southern California that have these brilliant purple flowers that, or I guess, I don't know if they're flowers, but it's foliage that's purple. And it comes in the spring and it's very beautiful. And I was just noticing purple everywhere. So it was like purple was on my mind. And I was like, why is purple on my mind so much? And it just so happens that as I'm talking, there's nothing but purple on the screens. I didn't plan that. I didn't plan that. That's the universe. Thank you, God. And so, so we'll receive it. It's in appropriate timing. But nevertheless, I saw purple everywhere, and I was just so. I even joined the church, and at that church, I was seeing purple. They had a guest speaker at that church, my first week at that church, and she was wearing purple, and I was just like, oh my God, that's a sign. Like, I caught it, and the sign was telling me is your intuition about moving here for this moment was correct. This is where you need to be for whatever reason. I didn't know what the reason was. I still don't fully know why I'm here and what the reason is, but I feel stuff unfolding more and more and more as I've been here for a while. But the point is, I was being told intuitively through the purple, being everywhere, all over the place. And so I acknowledged it, but now looking back on it, knowing the stuff I know now about like amethyst and purple and all these meanings behind that, I now know that was my intuition saying, good job, stay focused, stay out of trouble, do what you need to do, be here for what you need to be here, and accomplish what you're here to accomplish. And I feel like I'm still on that divine path to figuring out what my intuition was trying to tell me. I still feel like I'm figuring it out, and I still feel like I'm in the divine path because I still feel the deep connection spirit to my amethyst and to my purple and to my intuition. So that's my example of how I was blessed by noticing the power, I guess you say the power of purple, but listening to my intuition. And so it is very, very important that you consider what's being said to you. And it's not a strong voice. That's one thing that I wanted to say as well. Intuition isn't a loud voice. It never is. It's a very soft voice. But just because it's not loud doesn't mean it's not powerful. Power is not necessarily force. Sometimes, I always tell people, a gentle breeze is powerful too. It doesn't need a full-on windstorm to move something. So intuition operates like that. Intuition might come in a very soft voice. It might come in a dream. It might come as I saw in purple everywhere and observing my surroundings and being present enough to notice them. It wasn't overtly in my face all the time yelling and screaming at me. It was gentle. And intuition operates in a gentle way, because if it operated in a heavy way, it probably would be scary. If it was loud and strong, it probably would be scary. And most people will run from trying to run than listen to their intuition. So it comes gently. And you can label intuition whatever you want to. I've seen people label it God. I've seen people label it the universe. I've seen people label it intuition. I've seen people label it whatever. But at the end of the day, it's a soft voice that gets your attention. It catches your attention, but it's up to you whether or not you're going to adhere to what your intuition is saying. So it doesn't have to be loud to get your attention. It just requires you to pay attention. And I think in order to pay attention to your intuition, you got to be present. You got to be present enough in your being to trust. See, here's where it gets good, right? The people, what people don't realize is if you can't trust your intuition, you can't trust yourself. And if you can't trust yourself, who the hell else can you trust? Who the hell else can you trust? There's nobody more important to trust on this planet but you. Once you trust you, then you know how you can trust other people. But you have to develop that inner trust. And the way you develop that inner trust is by trusting and listening to your intuitive powers. All of us have them. Everyone has them. I'm of the mindset that animals have it. I used to have a cat back in the day, and I've seen dogs and others. They seem to have intuition. They sense danger. They sense when things are occurring. I heard that dogs can sense earthquakes or things like that. They have intuitive nature that's part of their inherent, I guess, naturality. And so do you. So do you. But the thing about humans' intuition is we're able to make some type of sense of it as it relates to the bigger picture of what we're experiencing in life. where does this intuitive thought fits into my life? When I was seeing purple all over the place, I had just moved there, and so I realized that that was a welcoming, or you're on the right path, a thumbs up to me from the universe. And I acknowledged it from God. I acknowledged it, and I said thank you, and I said give me more. You know, let me be more intuitive, and let me be more connected to this power so that I can make the right decision. That is a prayer I have every day. God, let me make the right decision. Spirit, let me make the right decision. Let me guide me to making right decisions. Now, mind you, I'm not talking about what's right for you. I'm not talking about what's right for my neighbor. I'm not talking about what's right for people in my life, family members. I'm talking about what's right for me. So my prayer is, God, universe, guide me into what is right for me. I started this YouTube channel out of intuition. You know, I started my businesses out of intuition. I went to college when I began college years ago out of intuition. So I listened to it and there was a lot of naysayers on all of those things. Don't do that. You shouldn't do that. That's not what you need to do. And I was like, no, because intuitively I'm feeling like this is the right direction. This is where I need to go. And so your intuition is your gift. It is your guide. It loves you. It wants you to be successful. It will never steer you wrong as long as you pay attention to it. So when I see amethyst, like I pulled, you know, because guys know I'm pulling these things randomly, but when I see amethyst and I think of all of the meanings, the purifying of the energy, but the most important meaning of this is in a heightened sense of building intuition. So when I need my intuition, I grab my amethyst and I pray for guidance. I pray for my soul and my spirit and my being to move into the correct flow of the universe so that I don't get the obstacles that people get who are just doing it blindly on their own, maybe instinctively, I don't know, but just acting out or reacting out. So amethyst, that's our stone. You know, it's a pretty purple, you guys. I think you guys can see it, but it is a wonderful purple stone. It is soothing, it is healing. It does feel intuitive. You put it in your heart, put it in your brain. Like it represents. I'm sure this is the crown chakra. Yeah, the crown chakra. You know, I'm pretty sure. But anyway, that's what I wanted to get on and talk. I know it's interesting to some of you. Some of you have given this thumbs up. Some of you have written beautiful messages about it. I'm going to use, I have, I think, a 12 stone, so I'm going to use this, and maybe something else will come up, whatever comes up. I'm going off of my mind and my thoughts on these things, y'all, so don't hate me for everything, and if I get something wrong, please don't shoot the messenger. The messenger just has a pure heart, trying to give you as best as I can. So get you some amethyst, share it with a friend, buy it with a friend, get you some jewelry, you know, whatever, and use your intuition, trust your intuition. It's your best friend. It's going to be there for you. That's it. I love you all. You're my family. If you want to know more about me and you're new, or you want to sign up for some life coaching, www.liveforyoucoaching.com. It is there for you. It is there. You can actually go out there too and do some self-paced programs too. Get the book, freedom prescription, all that good stuff. You guys know. But I want you guys to subscribe. So subscribe. Use your intuition and subscribe. I love you all, as I always say, and I will see you in the next video.